So we will just network with each other. We will be inspired and learn from Melody. And I think we'll have a door prize at the end, and you have to be present to win. And so, if Theresa will talk briefly about what WIN is, just to, if anybody has, if they're not sure, Theresa, you can let they.
Thank you, Julie. So I am Theresa, and wanted to say for WIN is an amazing group of powerful women who support, promote, empower, and recognize the business women of each other and the businesses within each other. We are a group of women who are different, have different types of businesses, but still find ways to encourage and support each other and just have fun being women, the amazing women that we are. Our core values are: we support and encourage each other in an environment that encourages growth professionally and personally. We promote opportunities that support each other. We accept challenges because we know that's how we grow. And we maintain confidentiality because we have transparent moments here. And so we make sure that what goes on here stays here within the group.
Exactly. And then Shavavian, if you would just kind of tell us what WIN means to you. I know you're a fairly new member, but you were with us for quite a bit last year, and now you are an ambassador this year. So just kind of tell us what WIN means to you.
Yeah, I had I had visited one other networking group before I met Angela, and she told me about her networking group, and that one, it just wasn't the right energy. I felt like being in a networking group was important, but I knew that the personality of the networking group had to vibe with me. So when I came to WIN, and first I saw it was all women. And then it was just a diverse group of women from all types of backgrounds, all doing different types of businesses, but we're all aligned on the same goal. I was like, I can vibe with this. This fits me, it fits my personality, it fits my schedule, and like the requirements that are going to be demanded of me are not going to be overwhelming or be too much to add on to my plate. So just from the very first time that I came, I really enjoyed it. And every time Angela sent me a link, like, we're having another meeting, okay, I'll be there. So it just has been a really good place to network with like-minded women.
Mommy?
Yes.
Great. Thank you, Shavavian. And we are fortunate to have her now. Talked about our core values and kind of what WIN is. And we do have a mission statement, and basically that is that we strive to provide opportunities for women to connect with and support each other. We deliver programs that contribute to the personal and professional development of our members, and we really just try to meet their needs like at the right time and in the right way. And we do that by providing opportunities for development, for fostering valuable connections, and for facilitating member success through business and career growth. And we'll talk a little bit more about membership and kind of what that means a little bit later, because we are open to memberships right now. But so before I get into introducing our speaker that I'm so excited about, if you will put your information in the chat, we are going to use that as a virtual business card. And so then if there's somebody that you're wanting to connect with or know how to get in touch with, we will be able to have your information in the chat. So just put the name of your business, your email, your phone number, your social needs, however people can find you. Yeah, and so there's that, and then we'll copy that and give that to everybody in case you don't get it at the end. And so, all right, so I have the privilege to introduce our speaker, and I'll just read this bio, and I will put in any of my own commentary about it, because I do know Melody and I've known her for a long time and she's fantastic. So Melody Tholstrup has always had a passion for small businesses grow. Working in the marketing industry for over 30 years, she feels blessed to have worked with a variety of clients ranging from retail shops and medical practices to schools and nonprofit organizations. Because of her love for empowering entrepreneurs, in 2017, she created MAP, which is Marketing Accountability Partners. And that is a unique marketing coaching program specifically targeted toward busy and overwhelmed small business members or business owners. I did participate in her MAP program at one time, and it is fantastic. Just one coaching session from that is worth the cost of admission. But a little bit about Melody: she is very fond of the color red, and she is a Wonder Woman super fan, maybe because she's a Wonder Woman. But she's blessed with a very supportive engineer husband and two amazing young adult children who inspire her every day. She is an avid networker, and she has been and continues to be active in several area professional organizations. And for the last 10 or more years, she has served as a volunteer marketing coach and workshop instructor for the Catalyst Center for Business and Entrepreneurship. She loves helping small businesses grow and would love to help you with your marketing efforts. Her advice to her clients and fellow entrepreneurs is: remember, perception is reality. Make sure your brand always reflects your ideal perception of your business. So with that, I will turn it over to Melody. Thank you for being here. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Y'all didn't hear all those wonderful things I just said. Complimentary to everybody. No, thank you, Julie. Thank you, Angela, for having me, and thank you to you ladies for giving some of your time. I hope that I can give you something back in what I want to share tonight. I do love small business. I did not want to be an entrepreneur, and I worked for a lot of small businesses before that, and then some big businesses, and never had a desire to do it. And then fate, or God had a plan, and so 10 years. I celebrated 10 years this past year. So obviously that was meant to be. And I'm more excited now about my business for 2022 than I've probably been in a really long time. So you're never too old to get excited about, growing your business and following your passion. So I do have a little PowerPoint. I'm just going to go over some 5 things that I want to share. And it's not just marketing related. Hopefully it's general, just growing yourself as a person and as a business owner. So Angela, it looks like I can share. Thank you. Let me get to the slideshow. I love PowerPoints. So this is because I do love Wonder Woman, and I do love Marvel and superheroes. My son and I are big Marvel fans and superhero fans. And I just have always thought, we all have our own superpowers, and especially moms and especially women. So this is just kind of my way of sharing some things that based on some stuff I've been reading in the last few years and just stuff I've learned in my 50-something years. I think hopefully these are ways that can inspire you for starting out and creating a super 2022. So let's get that going there. So 5 things. So first of all, this is something Julie will remember from the MAP program, something that I learned from a wise business owner years ago, is before you start doing anything, before you start changes or new goals, or, worrying about what you didn't get done last year, or worrying about all the things that may have to happen this year, just stop and celebrate your wins. And we're going to talk reasons why, but stop and celebrate your wins. Do that every day. And I call it being grateful and having gratitude time, but you can call it whatever you want, but you do need to celebrate your wins. And there's scientific reasons why you need to do that. Number two, never be afraid to ask for help. The older we get, sometimes it's harder to do that, and especially as a business owner. And then sometimes it gets easier. It just depends. But I want to tell new business owners as well as younger women, I wish I had known more, because I was such a type A first child. I can do it all. That I bumped my head a lot when I could have been just asking for more help and finding it a lot sooner. So never be afraid to ask for help. And also, as a business owner, as a human being, if you always seek to provide value, whether it's through your business or service or just in your life, it comes back tenfold. And I think we probably have all seen that, but that's just something you can just kind of keep as a top thing to consider every day. And then this is more something I work with my coaching clients in our MAP group, and it's based on a book, and I'll share that book with you in a minute, but don't worry about the whole year. Just take it one quarter, one 90-day chunk, the first season of the year, if you want to call it that, at a time. That's not too short, so you don't have to get it all done in 30 days, but it's not so long that you just lose sight of what's really happening. And then number 5, I don't care who you are. I don't care what your goals are. If you don't write them down, either on a piece of paper or type them in your phone or on your computer or on a big whiteboard, I don't care. But there is power in literally putting them down on paper. So we're going to talk about that. So wins. So there's all kinds of stats on this, and I didn't make all this up, but I did find these that I thought were good, because the act of celebrating, the act of being grateful, the act of, enjoying something that has happened successful in your life, it literally changes your brain. It literally changes your physiology and strengthens your psychology, but it literally sets off the endorphins, right? It's like completing a race. Like, I like to run, but I like running even virtual races better, even though I'm not the fastest, but it's just that, finish line and then a starting line. So when you can just celebrate your wins every day before you launch into whatever, or at the end of each day, everybody has different times. But if you can just do that, I promise you, it will strengthen you physically and mentally. Also, when you celebrate with colleagues and business partners like you guys do here, and like the WIN group is so awesome about doing, with the honor that I won a few years ago, that was such a wonderful award, and that you do that, but you also celebrate other wins that you guys have throughout your life and your businesses. And that's why groups that are still around, whether it's BNI or Rotary or whatever, that strengthens your network, because who doesn't want to be invested in somebody's success, right? Whether you were directly involved or not. And then another number 3 reason is it just, gravitates more good to you, because when you celebrate something that you earned and you celebrate that with other people, then yes, it does position you as a winner correctly. I mean, you're not bragging. This is just something exciting, and people will want to be with winners, right? Winners attract winners, but only winners that are, they can really get behind and they feel connected to, right? So I'm just telling you, every day, whether everybody knows it or not, celebrate your wins, okay? And then, what does this do? Okay, so, and then never be afraid to ask for help. This is something that's been really hard for me, like I said, and especially as a new business owner. And I've been doing this so long that I'm like, oh, I should know all the answers. Well, that's crazy, right? Nobody knows all the answers. And especially the way information is coming at us and all that, like in marketing alone, there's so many new tools. And I always tell my clients, I'm like, if I don't know what you need to use to help you market, we're going to figure it out together. I'm just probably going to spend more time learning it because that's my job. Then hopefully you won't have to spend as much time, but then we'll all learn it together. But you're underestimate. There are people out there. The Catalyst is a great example. There are so many people that coach as volunteers for the Catalyst. They are willing volunteers helping business owners grow because they get excited about it. They love giving back. So you're also depriving someone that may want to see you be successful when you don't ask for help, right? You're just assuming that they don't want to help, but they may really want to help you if they knew you needed help. And we do it all the time. We do it in our businesses. Just, it's like asking for referrals or testimonials. There are clients, if you just sent them an email or a text and said, hey, I love working with you. You were such a great, you're such a great client. I want clients just like you. Could you give me a Google review and then send them a link to where they can give that Google review? I got like 3 in 2 days doing that. And I didn't pay them money. They were happy already. They'd already told me they were happy. And you just ask them to share that. Well, they were happy to do it. Now, I'm not saying every person you ask for help is always going to give you help or give you help at that one moment, but don't be afraid to ask, and be okay if they say no, but I promise you'll get a lot more yeses than you realize. And the other thing, I thought this was interesting. This was a part of this article said, when you ask for something complicated, ask for help for something that's complicated, people may actually view you as more competent because you aren't afraid. You are confident in what you know, right? You want to do something right, whether it's, making something, building something, challenging, and maybe it's a new event you're trying to put together. But when you ask for help and you have done all you can do to create your solution, but you see the gaps and you see your weaknesses and you don't want to make it bad, you want to provide for your clients or your customers or your people who are involved in your organization. When you ask for help, people like, she's really sharp. She obviously knows this is a big task, and I appreciate that she sees value in me in helping her with that task. And they actually see you as more competent. So it's okay to ask for help. It's actually a good thing. So don't be afraid. And then this is just something I talk about all the time, because when I first started hearing the word provide value, I used to be in media sales, right? So I sold advertising, and we were always getting value added stuff. So when I was a media buyer, would be like, what all can we get for this amount of money? So my job was to go to these media reps and say, okay, give me your packages, give me your deals, but what else can we get? What other value added things can we get? Well, then I started being a business owner, and I knew that my clients didn't have a lot of money. So the value part was really important sometimes. And then I started thinking about, as a business owner myself, what I could give back, right? Because I knew my clients couldn't pay a lot of money either, but I knew that there were things I could do, or people I could introduce them to, or things I could invite them to, or, just other things that didn't necessarily cost them or me money, but were very valuable. And so the more I thought about it, and the more I started teaching entrepreneurs at the Catalyst, when you have a business, you're providing value. Even if you make money at that business, you're providing a service, you're providing a product, you're meeting a need in the market. And so because you're meeting a need, you're providing value. Well, if you seek to try to provide value in everything you do, you're only going to win every time. Because even if the good story that I like to compare it to is the movie Miracle on 34th Street. So I don't know if any of y'all watched that again over the holidays. There's, I think, 2 different versions. But the story was that Santa Claus at one store was telling parents where they could find toys at other stores to make their kids happy for Christmas. And so everybody was like, wow, would he tell to somebody to go to another store? Well, they got more business at his store because all they cared about was making the customers happy. So that's kind of the way I try to live my life, right? If I can give you value in anything you ask my help with, or anything I provide for you, whether you're paying me or otherwise, I know it's all going to win. We're going to have a win-win scenario. You're going to grow your business. You're going to recommend me, whatever it's for. I'm going to connect to you, and I'm going to trust you. And it's just a win-win. So, offering value instead of taking value, people are naturally drawn to you. And it's about giving your best without holding back, right? So when we would buy those packages from those media reps, it was like, I want everything I can get and then some for this amount of money. And then I promise you, I will do business with you again. If you can just give me that extra, 110%, give me that extra little bit, that little cherry on top, and make me feel like you've gone out of your way to, do this, then my client will probably buy from you next time. If you're holding back, I may or may not do it the next time. So it's the same with being a business owner. if you're going over and beyond to give your customer and your people the best of what you've got and then some, I promise you will come back to you. And then just in how you interact with anybody else. I love referring business to people that I can't do business with, because I promise you, you never know, but it always comes back. That's always the fun part. It's fun to refer to people who can refer me business. That's fine. But to do something for someone and help someone grow that you probably can't get any benefit from, that's the cool thing, because then you never know when it's going to come back, and you just know you've helped somebody grow, and that's all that matters, right? So that's how I feel about that. And then the quarter, I really believe, and I believed in this years ago, and I can't remember why. I guess it was, again, I used to sell ads, and we would tell people, okay, if you're going to buy an ad campaign, and this was before the internet, but even after we started selling on AL.com, they would tell you, give it 90 days, give it 3 months, give it 12 weeks, whatever you want to call it. And that really was accurate, because it is hard to know something unless you've got an event that's only a 30-day kind of window. If you really want branding and you really want visibility, it really takes about 3 months, right? To really see what consistency you can get going. So when I found this book, I had already started my MAP program, and we do things on the quarter. And this book, it totally reinforced everything I thought and then some. And by the way, I actually found the picture of this book. This book was also on a Christian book website, which I thought was really cool, because he does mention some Christian-based things, but it's just about productivity, right? But I love the fact that he said, the reason why you should be thinking in shorter time frames is because the important thing about a goal is that you can actually believe you can reach it. If you can't believe you can reach it, it's just something you put on paper, then it doesn't matter what it is. So I promise you, this book you can listen to on tape. There's like a workbook, but I've listened to it probably 2 or 3 times now. And I love it. I love it so much, because it's makes it just, and then you break everything down from your 12-week goals to 1 week at a time. Just, what am I going to do this week? That's all I got to think about. And as a mom and a woman and a business owner, I don't have the brain power to take on more than a day or a week at a time. So I challenge you, because if you can make things happen in 12 weeks, I promise you, by the end of the year, you will have changed yours in a positive way, because it's just those bite-sized steps, right? Not eating the elephant one bite at a time. And then this is something my mother taught me this years ago. And then I found this stat, which I thought was really cool. The power of writing down your goals. She was a teacher, but then she started working part-time at Parisian years ago in Montgomery. And she would literally write down, because they had a little commission, they made a little commission. She would write down for her, 5 to 9 shift or whatever, how much money she was going to make that night, or sell. She was going to sell, and then she got a percentage of it. And I think even after they quit paying them commissions, she was doing this just because she was like, I'm bored. I'm not going to just stand around. I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to have a goal. And she would write it down. And when I got out of high school, she's like, I want you to write down everything you want to accomplish. And so every day I would write down everything I wanted to accomplish, because otherwise I'd be scattered. But I don't care if a lifetime thing, when you write it down, whether it's pen and paper, or typing it on a computer, or putting it in your phone, your brain doesn't know fact from fiction. It doesn't know that. It doesn't know when you're putting something down, if you're writing a lie or truth. And if you say, I want to achieve this, or I'm going to achieve this, or this is my goal, it will start making it happen. It will start trying to figure out how to make it happen. And they found a study, 42%, almost 50% of the people who did it were making these goals happen because they wrote it down versus just telling somebody about it. I do think you should tell people about it, but you've got to write it down first. And so Julie knows in my MAP group, that was something everybody has to do. And the people who didn't have as much success as the people who did, but most people did, they did. And then I took pictures of them, and so we all had them. But that's just something that a lot of you probably already do, because you're organized, amazing women, and women in general are more organized. But I challenge my family. We do that every year. Like, we have to write it down. And so I challenge you to do that. So I want you, here's an exercise, whether you've done this already or not, maybe you've made resolutions, or maybe you made business goals, but just right now, thinking between now and March 31st, 2022, What are 3 things that you want to accomplish? It can be business related, it can be health related, it can be money related, it can be spiritual, it can be, family, relationships, vacation, I don't care. But what are, 3 things, 3 kind of bigger things you'd like to have happen, right? Do you want to launch your website? Do you want to launch a new program? Do you want to go on a trip? Do you want to finally lease that building or that office for your business, or buy that new piece of equipment, or hire somebody, right? So you write those down. So I want you to do that. And you can put them in the chat too if you want. I would love to see what people share. So like one of my goals is I want to book more speaking gigs, but I want to book one that like out of this market, pays me lots of money. but I do want to book more speaking gigs, and that's something I love to do. And so that's something I want to do. And I kind of made my goals around that. And what do I have to do to make that happen? Other ones may be, you want to launch a new product, or you want to get certified to do something, or you want to finish a course, or you want to teach a course, you want to create a course. If it's social media, maybe you want a certain number of followers. If those followers translate into business, that's great. If they don't, as a marketing person, I'm going to tell you, make sure you're putting your effort in the right place, right? That's just kind of a side tip. If your people are on Facebook and you're spending all your time on Instagram, it may not matter how many followers you have there, or vice versa, right? Like I know Julie is amazing on every time I see her stuff for her painting business, I see it on Instagram, but I know she's got people following her and ordering on Facebook. So, there's sometimes when it does cross over. But so yeah, think about what you want to achieve. Okay, so is anybody putting theirs in chat? Okay, so the next thing would be, once you get those goals for the quarter, then I have sheets now that we work on that's literally 5 things a week that you can tackle, right? But you can put as many as you want. But most of the time, I'll just say, okay, what's got to happen this month to make those goals happen? What action items? I do like to break it down by week, and that's what that 12-week year book does. It literally has a worksheet that you can copy, and I made my own version of it, so that I know what do I have to do is maybe 3 or 4 weeks from now in order to make that goal happen, right? I got to make that phone call, set that appointment, order that book, get that event booked if I want to have some kind of event, whatever I need to do. What are the tasks? What are the action items? And I want you to write those down. And you should really be writing those down every week. And I do sometimes move things over to the next week if it doesn't happen, but I do have a column on the worksheet that I use with my clients where we can put done or completed. So you want to make things you're actually going to get done. I had one client that was with me for pretty much the whole time the first 3 years, and she had one big goal that kept getting rolled over every quarter. And finally I said, and we had action items and all these things, and I said, you're still not getting that done. There's got to be a reason. I said, I just think you need to take that off your list. And sure enough, she took it off her list, didn't think about it for a quarter, and then put it back on, I think 6 months later, then finally got it done. But she was in a totally different mindset. So, when you write something down and it's not happening, then maybe that's trying to tell you something. This is not a priority right now. But if you don't write it down, you won't know either way, right? So I just challenge you to write those things down. And that's it. It's very simple, right? If you celebrate your wins, you celebrate your successes, and you get people involved in helping you celebrate that, whether it's your team celebrating stuff with your business, whether it's your clients. I love to celebrate my clients, but that always brings focus back to me too sometimes, whether I mean it or not, right? Because everybody wins. I'm bragging on them. I'm excited about them. But people know that the reason I'm excited is because I get to work with them, or I'm some part of their celebration. I don't put it that way, but it's all, everybody wins. It's a win-win scenario. Whether it's I'm celebrating my own wins privately, it makes my brain feel better, makes my heart feel better, and then I can keep going. So I just challenge you to do that. And again, please don't ever be afraid to ask for help. And I mean that sincerely. If you ever see me, or you want to email me, or you want to call me, if I have time, I will answer a question or give you a tip or give you somebody's information if I know who that could help you. But I will tell you, the Catalyst, if you haven't worked with the Catalyst, and whether they're coaching programs or they're free classes or they're very inexpensive other bigger events, there are some incredible people there. And there's other organizations around town too that are wonderful too. We're very blessed in our market to have some very supportive entrepreneur groups. But I guarantee you, there are people out there that you pick up the phone, or you shoot them an email, or you text them, or you message them on Facebook or LinkedIn, you'd be really surprised who'd be willing to either have coffee with you, give you tips, give you a referral, give a testimonial, whatever it is. So I always recommend, don't be afraid to do that. And then again, value, it's just kind of a version of the golden rule, right? If you do unto others and you give your best and then some, whether it's somebody who can grow your business or just be somebody you want to connect with, it's always going to come back in a good way and everybody wins. And then don't try to take on this whole year. We had a rough year last year, but we don't have to take it on, but 1 quarter at a time, 1 month at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. But a quarter is a really, because that's how we pay our taxes, right? Estimated taxes, if you're a sole proprietor like me. That's why I also love that it's just 1 quarter at a time. This is all I have to think about. And then no matter what your business is or what your goals are, just write them down. I would love for you to write them down, take a picture of them, and then show them to someone you care about, or put them where you can see them every day. I put ours on the refrigerator for our family so we can see it every day. And I don't know about anybody else, but my brain is like, how can I make that happen? What can I check off? So it's just very powerful. So, and that's it. I mean, I didn't do a whole lot because I knew you guys wanted to network, but I'm happy to answer questions, even if it's not related to this, because I really, I love, like I said, I love helping small businesses. I love, whether it's marketing or business, anything small business related, I'm happy to help. And I do have I was going to put in the chat, I have a link that if you ever want to do a free, what I call map strategy session for 30 minutes, you are more than welcome to click this link and just book your best time on my calendar and we'll chat. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Melody. And I will say, again, I've done her 30-minute sessions too, y'all. It's all value. It's all value. And you'll get something out of it. So does anybody have any questions?
Oh, I had one more thing I forgot to say. My bad. So I have a Facebook group. In fact, I'll put a link to that as well. It's free and it is for marketing. It's marketing related. It's not just for this area. So I have, friends and contacts from all over, but it's mostly Alabama based. But that's how we're doing MAP now. It's free. If you're a member of the Facebook group, we do it once a month now, and our next one is next Wednesday. And so I will share that in the chat so that if you guys are interested, you can join the Facebook for free, check that out. And then our MAP group right now, the meetings are on Zoom and they are free for just the Facebook people. And so if you're a member, you get to go for free. And we do, like Julie said, we talk about goals, we celebrate wins, we share things, tips, resources, whatever. And that's just kind of it's always going to be my passion project, to be able to give back and help people connect with each other and help people feel supported. And there is the link to the event in the Facebook group. So
awesome. Ultimate accountability, like we were talking just before this meeting, and how important that is. So this is I think kind of driving that point home. Okay, so did anybody have any questions? Just if it's not everybody at once, you can just unmute and ask if you have any question for anybody else in the group regarding this, or anything else regarding your business.
One thing that stood out to me was asking for help. I have a problem with it. I'm stubborn. I feel like I can do anything. I don't need nobody because I'm just being stubborn. I'm just being honest. I don't know if it's that military wife mentality or what, but seriously.
And when I think about that, because I'm sometimes the same way, but if someone asked you for help, what would you do?
What you need?
You would be honored.
Yes,
I will be honored.
My shirt off, my back.
To help them, and you would be all about it. So why wouldn't they be that way about you?
I know. And I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to be better. I've gotten better. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Oh, I love what that, like I said, that comment said, and I even read it to my husband, and his eyes, engineer, his eyes went like, like the dog listening to the thing. As it's people actually, this is a stat, actually people perceive you as more competent when you're asking for help with something complicated. They don't see you as stupid or pitiful or helpless. They see you as like, I'm serious about this. I want to get this done, and I want help to get this done right. So that's what I took away from it. I was like, okay, I'm not going to be afraid to ask for help anymore, because I only know is what I know. And then that's it,
They'll be saying she's about to level up. Right?
Melanie's leveling up. Is that what you're saying, Julie?
Oh, I was like, me?
Yeah. When you ask for help, I mean, I think that's what people will see. They'll be like, oh, she's leveling up.
It's a positive thing. You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. We're moving up. Yeah, because in fact, a good example. I just started working with a government contracting client. Never have wanted to do that. Never tried to do that. But God put it in my lap, and it was like I couldn't even. I wanted to, and I literally went straight to my friend Lee Christian, who's with the Catalyst and who I've known for years, who is amazing and knows everybody and knows everything about government contracting. And I was like, what can I do? Can I feed you? Can I, she's like, oh, we can do it on Zoom. But she was the first person I went to. I mean, I'm a coach, and I know what my restrictions are. I know what my weaknesses are. And I go to the people I know immediately. Like, I need help with accounting. I need help with this. So yeah, that people love to help you. People love to help you. Don't ever be afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I wanted just to say too, like Melody, first of all, your talk was so on point and perfect for January, kicking off the new year. And we had our mastermind right before you joined us. And so some of the things you were saying, they were just like driving it home. And I feel like I'm with Melanie when it comes to like some of the points that you talked about. I feel like you were speaking to me, and particularly on the like ask for help thing. And I've actually been asking for help this week specifically. And so like I asked Jenny for help for something yesterday, and I called someone on the phone today. I call Theresa all the time. She's probably sick of hearing from me. And so, and Julie too, like I think I can look around the room and I'm thinking about like, I've called half the room pretty much. And so Beverly, you better look out, because I'm calling you next.
But now you can all celebrate your wins together. See, they're all invested because they've helped you. So now you can celebrate your wins together, and they're even more excited to see you win. So
yeah. So yes, I think I just love that, and it just makes me remember like that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're in this together.
Exactly.
Cool. All right,
guys.
Thank you, Melody.